Hello there, Internet. Hello there, YouTube. Welcome back to the Hermit Gamers continued solo challenge run of X-Men Legends 2 playing Rogue, one of the weaker characters in the game, one of the slower characters in the game, and we are playing her worst build. It doesn't really work. Anyway, we've been making it work. We've had some close calls, very, very close calls. At one point, one of the act bosses had us down to 0 potions, and we were quite literally one shot. We managed to we managed to get out, snatch a potion up off of it. It was a very, very, very close shit. Anyway, we're gonna get in there. We're gonna continue. We're on Act 4. Act 4 can be a struggle, especially if you primarily deal energy damage. We kind of do. We're gonna die to infinite. I'm not even any. I'm not gonna. Let's just.
Let the games begin.
Yeah. So the reason I'm slightly concerned about infinites is some of them have a lot of energy resistance. And our only offensive ability that we can realistically use deals primarily energy damage. The other issue is, now, that's not necessarily an insurmountable problem, but in our case it kind of is, because... So here's the thing. A good rogue build focuses on the fact that she does a lot, she can do a lot of melee damage. And you pump Torpedo Strike, and you pump Critical Strike, and that's where you get your damage from. Torpedo Strike is good against crowds, good against single targets, it's very flexible, it gives you mobility, it's a one and done. It doesn't even take that many skill points to max. It's the best thing in Rogue skill tree, in fact. You could also use Tremor. Tremor is pretty decent. I think it's a bit slow. It's AoE, it's stun, it's physical damage, it's multiplied. But what she also has are these Power Theft and Energy Overflow abilities. Now, Power Theft basically does not work in this game. We will actually get the opportunity to use it quite soon if we live long enough, because you can steal powers of Morlocks. But most of the enemies in this game aren't mutants, and even the ones that are, you'd think, okay, act bosses, I should be able to steal good stuff off them. You can't steal anything off them. So this is a basically useless ability. And this one, this is because we're using the bad build, this is our primary offensive ability. The damage is low. Thankfully, the EP cost isn't absurd, but it's not great. The arc is quite good, but the animation is extremely slow. And it has no CC, it has no, even the range advantage is somewhat minimal. We'll see. It doesn't go particularly far. Very slow, kind of difficult to kite with because of the combination of short range and long cast time. Yep, they're going to drop down. And as you see what I mean, it's... So the damage is not the worst. Out of here. Her rogue does everything slowly. Her melee attacks are very slow. Her skills come out very slowly. That's what makes her one of the weaker characters in the game. Thankfully, and the potential savior of this run is that she does have access to effectively invincibility and a reflective aura. The damage reflection also is, it's appreciable. It definitely gives your DPS a little bump. But, oh my gosh, look how beaten up I get. By just one bug. We may need this.
Better luck next time, sugar.
That always frustrates me when it's like I could win a fight like very easily by just using my ult, but I go into it thinking, okay, I'll see if I can conserve the ultimate, and then I end up having to use the ultimate anyway because now I'm just kind of thinking to myself, I could have just made that so much easier. So, normally you play this game with 4 people. I don't know if if anyone was to tune in, isn't aware of that. You normally play this game with 4 people, and it's normally actually a very easy game. All right, so we should. I was gonna say we should be able to steal an ability off them, but apparently we can't. They're also energy resistant, which makes them outrageously dangerous to me. Because they are a high damage ranged enemy, and the last thing you want to be doing is kind of wandering into the middle of a pack of ranged enemies who are going to kite away from you in every direction while picking you apart, but they can actually get quite high bursts if they have auras and so on. I knew these guys were coming down. This sewer is one of the most dangerous areas in the game. I honestly expect to die here as well. Unless I skip a lot of the content. Should have just ulted on this.
You're out.
Your voice is the last hit somehow. I love it. But yeah, I mean, if I don't die down here, it will be entirely thanks to invincibility buttons. The problem is I don't want to overuse it because this will run out.
What are you doing down here?
Yeah, we'll kind of kidnap them back in here if we can. He's dancing. I was just about to say, like, typically ranged enemies, if you deny them a sightline, will run to get a sightline, which makes them, like, fairly manipulable. And if they weren't, the game would be so much harder than it is. This guy's dangerous. Let's not take a chance. It's so frustrating that like they just kite my ranged ability because it's so bad. And yeah, she can res them, so I have no choice but to try and dive her. This is gonna get maddening because I just can't, like, I don't know, the ability that we're actually, like, it's a testament to how garbage this build is. That, like, I'm just leaning on this. It's like it's literally all I have. If I use this, even level 1, if I probably like we'd have progressed so much further. This ability is just so bad. The numbers are just wrong. It needs to do like twice as much damage as it actually does. Because look at this. This is already doing 77 to 127. It just flatly does more. It hits way more enemies. And this is not factoring in that, one, Rogue gets like so much strike, even if you, like, I have not put a single point in strike, and she's at 71 strike. She gets so much passive gain in strike, she gets almost no passive gain in focus. So the damage this does benefits from both strike and focus, and strike is a stronger multiplier. Strike is 2% per 1, focus is 1% per 1. This only benefits from focus. So you can see, like, and then you also have things like, if I were to just put on gear that is all like, instead of this saying plus 25 electricity damage, if it just said plus 10 damage, that will increase this, my base melee attack damage, by 10. And then that 10 gets multiplied by 450%, or up to about, if you max this, it's about 800 or 900%. So the benefit that you get from gear on purely physical attacks is freaking enormous. Physical attacks just get more multipliers than non-physical attacks. The benefit is that characters who primarily use non-physical attacks essentially have two dump stats, which is speed and strike. And they only need to build into focus. And the more focus you have, the more EP you have, so the more you can use your abilities. Whereas brawlers, characters who use physical attacks, have to at least consider putting some points in strike, because they do benefit from it so much. However, more strike means less focus, means less EP, means slower EP regen. And a funny paradox is that the caster characters in this game often end up with more hit points, because they literally just spam focus and body. That's it. That's all they need. And if they don't need to spam body, like if they have good survival skills, like if you use Pyro or Sunfire as like a pure caster, you don't even need to put points in body either. So you can literally solo pump focus. And at that point, so the strong casters do become competitive with strong physical damage dealers, and also some casting abilities, they just have different advantages, right? Like the area they hit, the radius, the range, etc. Typically, the casters are better at just kind of like ad clear, and the melee characters are better at like kind of 1v1ing elites and killing bosses. There are exceptions to that rule. But most of them involve casters using abilities that the game actually considers to be melee abilities. So an example would be Pyro and Sunfire have an ability called Fireblade, and you can build in... like most of the casters in this game have passives that will give them various, like, you can have it so that, like, if Pyro or Sunfire like punches someone, they get a bunch of added fire damage on the punch, and then that fire damage is multiplied by their focus and blah, blah, blah. So, but then you can multiply. Like I just told you about how gear can add on to base physical, so you can see how that would get pretty crazy when you have those abilities that passively increase your base melee damage, and then what happens is you have melee abilities, and they end up getting passively increased by those abilities. So Pyro and Sunfire both have an ability called Fireblade, which gets increased by their passive melee ability. It also gets increased by just a passive ability they have called Fire Mastery. So it's getting multiple damage multipliers. It can get actually up to 3. One of them goes up to like 450%. The other two are like 50 and 50. But the 50, 50, and 450 are all multiplicative. And then they all essentially triple dip on the value from your gear. And again, you also have focus and strike are both essentially independent multiplicative factors. So when you have a character that has high strike, high focus, you know, added elemental damage to their base damage, gear that adds to their base physical damage, blah 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 blah. You start to add it all together, and trust me, I've tested it, I've done it. I could go do it. In like 5 minutes, I could have a build set up that I can like go into like the danger room and just one shot nightmare grade danger room bosses with. It's extremely doable when you start stacking all that stuff. And there's a few characters in the game who can do that. Pyro for one, Sunfire. I think Storm can almost... Okay, so Storm doesn't one-shot, but she, like... It's like a bunch of little shots that come out so fast that it's, you know, pretty much the same. Bishop can do it. Gambit. Again, kind of like Storm. The damage is slower, but anyway. Doing like a whole list in my head without being able to like write names down or refer back to the thing is a little bit tricky, so I'm not going to try to give a full list. But the fact of the matter is, there's a bunch of characters in the game who can get their damage boosted to completely outrageous levels. Rogue isn't one of them. Okay, this is a little bit scary. So one thing Rogue does have, and I will say it, and I've praised it a decent amount, is she has really nice ultimates. Reflective Aura is freaking amazing. Anything that... So I would complain about Reflective Aura, right? Because everything is relative. Now, if this were the only ability that gave you invincibility in the game, it would be S tier ultimate. It's not, unfortunately. So, so there's 3 other characters in the game who also have an ultimate that also gives you invincibility. It gives you for the same duration. It also doubles your damage. And it takes like 5 skill points to max. For some reason, this takes like 3 times as many skill points to max as theirs. So theirs is S tier. Storm also has one that gives up to 45 seconds of invincibility, which is team-wide. So I would also say that's S tier. But this one, it's amazing, but I couldn't call it S tier purely because of the comparison. And sometimes it bugs me because, you know, even though it's amazing, if you view it in a vacuum, I'm still very much aware that there are better abilities. Now, this one is good. It sort of suffers from this problem of like it's trying to do everything, so it kind of doesn't do anything well, but it is still really good. So what it does is you fly out, you smash everything on the screen, you whack it, you do a big chunk of damage. If you actually build Rogue as a physical character, the damage will get pretty freaking decent. It pretty much gives you a full EP bar, even if you just hit one enemy. So it's going to refill your EP. It stuns all the enemies for an outrageously long time. 10 seconds is more than enough time for you to just go around the screen and clean everything up if it's not dead. And it turns their powers off for a certain amount of time. Now, you might sort of think like, oh, well, if they're stunned and they're not doing anything, why do I care if they have powers or not? And that's mostly about auras. So, you know, some enemies will have an aura that will like make them invincible or give them some kind of conditional invincibility. I'm gonna die here. I just realized, like, I can't do this, not with Rogue. I'm not gonna die here, I refuse. I will. I know how to make it through this. So, when you grab that, you have to come back the entire way we've come, and the area will be like refilled with extremely dangerous boss mobs. And a lot of them are ranged and will have like, you know, very high damage auras and stuff. They will shred me. Like this, I'm dead. If I don't pop invincibility here, they will just kill me. Now the thing is like that goes fine, but we're still just cleaning these guys up. This guy got freaking rezzed. Of course he did. We even... FYI, that's Torpedo Strike. So you can see how powerful that ability is going to be. Like, it slingshots you so far, because it's fast and because it moves you, it CCs everything in its path, it just smashes them out of your way. It's tits. Like, it's the best thing in Rogue's kit, and apart from, her having invincibility. But the combination of those two, honestly, clearing the game with Rogue, not even a problem. Solo, hardcore, who cares? You're invincible. And you do enough damage that it does, you know what I mean? It doesn't, it's like, you don't need to do godlike damage when you're invincible, you just need to kill everything before your invincibility runs out. So, she can definitely get through the game, but I would still consider her one of the game's weaker characters, and that should go to show you just how extremely strong the characters are in this game. That a character who, effectively has invincibility, and, you could, like, say that attack skill is really good. So good attack skill, effectively having invincibility, and is still one of the weaker characters in the game. And the reason why is because it's one of those things where it's like, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. Outside of some areas where most characters struggle, so, for example, like, Rogue can easily lose the game early game. But, so can Colossus, and I would say Colossus is way better character. So can Magneto, and Magneto is one of the best characters in the game. So can, like, any character, basically, the early game, solo, is brutal. It's just really freaking brutal. Characters who start with, like, a good AoE can usually get through it without too much trouble. And we're kind of coming up on the end here, and I'm not dead. I'm just, like, I've kind of been a little bit lucky. Another mob. Again, we're not even going to risk it. Because I can't dive through a whole bunch of them to try to kill her. Because these guys, they kind of shotgun their damage. So if you get up in the face of, like, a big group of them, you can die very quickly. Enemies in this game can also, like, I mean, all damage is kind of a little bit RNG, but enemies can also crit. So sometimes it's like stuff is just kind of tickling you, and you're looking at it and you're just thinking, like, oh, okay, nothing's gonna kill me. And then you're like, oh, I died. Okay. Hold on. I haven't gotten this homing beacon in so long because I haven't played a character who could actually physically get to it and drain the battery. Rogue's one of the few who can do both. In fact, I think she's the only one who can do both. I completely forgot. But now there's going to be more mobs, and what we're actually going to have to do is we're going to have to, like, blink portal somewhere else and farm extreme tokens, and then come back in a blink portal, like, through the same blink portal. And if you have to start doing that multiple times, the blink portal is on, like, a 3-minute cooldown. So have fun with that. But it's doable, and it means that if you're patient enough, you can't lose. Like, you actually cannot lose the game if you are patient enough, if you use your buttons. Like, this would have just killed us so freaking dead if we came in here without invincibility. Like, the game is not giving you that much time to just stand there and get shot. We're down to 1 token now. Hopefully this guy will drop. Okay, so now we've got another. We're just holding it down now. And I got a level, which is great. Let's It's so brutal. Like, I want to really start pumping focus because I just get so little passive gain. But I just can't. I can't afford. Like, I need to have a little buffer of safety and energy. Now here, it's like, now we're actually just flat running out of skill points, and it's going to get rough. But this is my main attack skill. I'm married to it. I have no choice. I have to try and get it as good as it can be. I could buy a redistribute, I guess, and maybe take some points back out of Prism Shield.
Can't do that.
Just to keep the ults. coming along nicely. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, we made it.
And yeah, I am like doing a little bit of loot goblining and so on in this playthrough because like I really feel like we're gonna need every advantage we can get. This is an example of what I say about just plus physical damage, like this where it just says plus 21 damage.
No.
So if I had 3 items like this on at level 40, I'm getting plus 60 to my base damage. Do you want to know what my base damage is? To see what an example of what an absolutely outrageous multiplier that is. We don't even do 60 damage. It's more than 100%. So if I just have, and that's only, you know, that's on the heavies. I'm pretty sure it balances off the lights. So like we're literally talking about just flatly tripling our damage. No, it's actually more like quadrupling it. It's just like, no, tripling, yeah, because it's 24. Overstating a little bit. But it, you know, you can see what I mean in terms of how outrageous that is. And then that triple damage is getting the 116% focus. So things get out of control very quickly when you're dealing with like a bunch of different multipliers.
Luckily,
Unfortunately, we cannot take advantage of that because we don't use physical damage. I mean, we kind of are forced to use it a lot, but it is what it is. One thing I will say is I do have pretty damn good gear for a character who does non-physical damage. So we haven't exactly gotten scammed or anything on the gear drops. The gear drops have been actually quite... No, they were brutal in Act 1. We genuinely got almost nothing in Act 1. But they rapidly got better. We were sitting pretty in Act 2. We freaking almost died in Act 2, and it was so rough.
What are you doing down here?
Freaking EP drain, I hate you, get out.
I'm pretty good, aren't I?
Bunch of bugs are going to drop down. I think on this corner. No? I'm so paranoid about the bugs. They have killed me in the past. Because if they just drop down with like a really dangerous ore or something and they can just wreck you. Oh, this is gonna be so gross. Because I can't kill her if there are enemies near her, and she can res enemies. So we have to. Yeah, okay, good thing. Good thing the AI is stupid and she runs over here.
Maybe you ought to rethink this.
So one of the things is like I have been using energy overflow. It's not like I'm saying I only use Smash, but it's just insane to use it when there's only one enemy. Smash does like 3 times the damage if there's only a single enemy. But if there's like 3 or 4 enemies, energy overflow definitely kills them faster. The only problem is like I can't use it on these guys. They just shoot back, and because they very quickly isolate themselves, so I'm essentially having to kill them one at a time.
You're right.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have used that extreme there, but that was just going to be really annoying.
I knew this.
Is that the best y'all can do? Pleasant dreams, y'all.
See, this is the problem of like, I essentially just have to fight them all one by one, so. I was so convinced that I would die in the sewers, but now I'm convinced that I'm going to die in the street, which is a little bit more dignified at least. Also, there are several other areas of sewers for us to die in, so you know, my prophecy may still come true. But as I say, it would be a little bit more dignified to die in the streets. I'd rather not die at all, to be honest, though. And this is likely to kill me if I am not invincible, so.
That was fun.
They're current burst off. Her. That's right. Get out of here. I cannot be stopped. Lunge. And as I said about energy resistance, these boys are all over the place. They are worth a lot of EXP, I'll give them that. And they can drop some really nice loot, which I'm hoping to get. But no such luck with that guy. Being able to fly is so nice. It's like one thing. I've seen some people say like, you know, oh, Pyro is better than Sunfire. Because they're functionally clones. They have one ability that's different, and the Pyro's one is better, and it's also bugged, so it costs no EP. So yeah, I can definitely see that argument, but Sunfire can fly. And I think if you're soloing the game, there's a huge argument to be made for wanting fly.
Don't move a muscle. Unless you... well, how should I... Once you... It's you.
Flight is super handy, just being able to instantly transition like low ground, high ground, juke out enemies in kind of a 3D space. It also presents its dangers because if you do get tagged while you're flying, there's this really long kind of CC where you get hard knockdown and then you have to physically get back up off your butt. So it can potentially get you killed, but I would say it would save your life more. In any given run, if flight got you killed, you probably look back through that run and think of like 2 or 3 occasions where it actually like saved your life. But it can potentially also allow you to do things that you couldn't get away with if you didn't have the option to fly away. You know. Oh, this is gonna be so frustrating. It's just such open space. Alright, what I can do is I can yeet cars at people. I don't know if they'll hit, but yeah, you get a car. You get a car? Does basically no damage. I love it. Fantastic. Throw a car at them. Let's see how much damage the garbage bag does. Face your garbagey fate. I mean, it didn't kill him, but he died as a result of it, so a pretty horrible way to die, really. But it's gonna take a week to get through here. I hate it. God, I wish I was playing Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is so good. Oh well. I want to go home. least I can throw cars. They might not do much, but it looks cool, I guess. Get CC'd. But yeah, that's Tremor, as you can see. Tremor's pretty good, even at level 1. Because you do like a punch on the way up, and then you come down, which, again, like all the rogue's abilities, it's too slow. But it's fine if you're invincible. Like, it's totally usable. It also stuns, which is nice. I mean, if it's going to be slow, at least it can CC, right? This guy needs to die. He has aura. Actually, I can take the aura. Maybe that will help me kill him. It's not really helping me kill him. And yeah.
Sugar, maybe you ought to rethink this.
Oh. I can't even kill him in the duration of my ult. It's how much of a joke this character is in terms of the damage output she has. It's funny, like, it's funny how things can be, like, completely transformed by the existence of, like, other abilities. For example, Juggernaut has an ability that... Alright, we have to try to kill everyone before the health regen guy, so we can maybe just, like, pound on him in a corner and... hopefully chunk him down. These guys, thankfully, usually have a much smaller health pool, but this guy actually may legitimately be unkillable for me. I can't kill this guy. Thankfully, he doesn't do that much damage, but this is the most humiliating thing to have ever happened to me in an X-Men Legends playthrough. Thus far.
Let's rock.
So, people will say that Colossus is the worst character in this game because he's so slow. Colossus basically has the same ult that gives him invincibility, like, you know, the invincibility, except his takes like 5 skill points to max and doubles his damage. And people will actually rate Rogue higher because she can do energy damage. Because, literally, because she has this. Like, this is not even doing any, like...
Ooh, that was fun.
That, to me, is insanity that anyone could think that, like, that ability is, like, that you would give any, like, I would take points off her score for having that ability. But as I say, it's crazy how things can be transformed. Because Juggernaut has an ability that's almost identical, except it's a 360 radial. And you would think, well, that should be terrible. That should be even worse because you kind of have to wade into the middle of a group. It's a really tiny radial. Except Juggernaut has an ult that allows him to one-tap everything. So that, as his largest AoE, well, it's not a great big AoE, it's still his largest, means it's his best skill to spam when you're in his ult. And it actually gives him a pretty respectable clear time. But this, Lord, there's not, like, nothing can save this.
Pleasant dreams, y'all.
Pardon me. Just having a drink. We're getting through though. I mean, it's taken 40 minutes, but
Woo! That was fun. I guess y'all lose.
the actual like on-hit damage of energy overflow is not that bad if things aren't energy immune. As I say, the only problem with it is like it's too short range for the speed it has.
Pleasant dreams, y'all.
But I mean, if you didn't have invincibility, it would genuinely be unusable. But like, this is like, I can just punch this guy to death faster than using it. Its single target damage is like legitimately unusable. And it's crazy to me.
Better
Like-
luck next time, sugar.
It's just, it's impossible. You can't build her around it. Where she like has everything. Like, you kind of can, but whatever. It's not worth doing.
Target is at my location.
And this is where stuff is going to get disgusting. Because I cannot fight even like 3 of them. They don't even need to be a boss mob. I have to be invincible or I will die. They do a lot of damage, but the main problem is that like windmill attack they do has a very, very long, like it knocks you on your ass. And when like 2 or 3 of them just start it, they will basically just chain CC you and kill you. Anyway, I'm going to try to kite them all together, because even if I do get chain CC with Reflective Aura up, they will kill themselves before they kill me when it has that much duration. So this is where it's like, oh, okay, you know, hey look, I can actually get this done. But it's like, again, we're talking about the difference between, you know,
That was fun.
let's try to kite another group together if we can. We have to be so careful here, because I can't cast this if I'm CC'd.
I just keep getting better. Sugar, maybe you ought to rethink this.
It's like, one thing I will say for this build in particular is that like at least like most of her attack skills, like the ones that you would actually spam in a good bro build, they have like anti-synergy with Reflective Aura. Like because with Torpedo Strike, you just like you're CCing everything so hard and you're dashing through it so fast that you're not really going to be getting like beaten up on. And then Tremor has the stun, so if stuff's stunned, it's not wailing on you. Damn, I almost died here playing Toad.
What do you think you're doing with that holodisk?
There's no way to talk your way out of this.
What do you surprise? What do you think you're?
I guess y'all lose. I'm too low on power.
That's where you are.
But yeah, as I say, the main reason why I rate Rogue low isn't because I'd say she can't win. Is she's slow. She's in a really dicky place that I don't like a character to be, where it's like you're resource dependent, but you're not necessarily but you can run out of that resource because like your economies are not particularly great. Like, you know, it takes you a long time to kill stuff. You know, it costs you too much EP to do it. Blah 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 blah.
So
Sorry about that. I did need to cough. I had some kind of chest infection or something this week, but it's finally clearing up. And I'm feeling much, much better. I don't want to go that way. Unfortunately, you can't pick up the buses. It would be cool if you could.
Ain't you courageous?
See how much damage even one of them does?
Fun.
This ain't over.
Gonna have to take this so painfully slowly.
Pleasant dreams.
There's no point trying to use a ranged ability on them. They will just backwalk and kite it.
Can't do that.
And my inventory's full again? Alright. Okay. I probably won't be coming back for that, but...
Nope.
Target confirmed.
How did I not see that?
I'm pretty good, aren't I?
Need to break some stuff and get an extreme token. It's just too dangerous to push in this area without one.
Ain't you courageous?
Can't do that.
This ain't good. Halt! Stay where you are.
Pleasant dreams, y'all. Sugar, maybe you ought to rethink this. Nope. Better luck next time.
Hold on. I need to check something on my phone. Should have used the AFK screen.
This is gonna be
Got it.
sweet.
Why I'm not one of the pros.
Give me back up.
You're out.
We got him now.
You needn't ask me home.
What can I get you? Any questions?
take a little bit of resistance with my damage. Very, very slight upgrades there. The mental damage is more because of the amount of energy resistance we're dealing with.
Ain't you courageous?
Is that the best y'all can do? Y'all quit just when it was getting fun.
And here we go, Deadpool boss fight. Very simple.
Me? Close. Finally. It's...
Our back.
I'm gonna give you such a wedgie.
He's such a nuisance if you don't actually do good damage to him.
Y'all quit just when it was getting fun.
Are you gonna break dance or fight?
And that's what I mean when I say with the falling animation of it being really rough. I'm not worried about dying to this guy though, he just doesn't do much damage. So another area of sewers. Another bunch of freaking Morlocks, and the Morlocks are actually just generally quite dangerous in this game.
Leave our sewer.
There's these bruiser guys, these are the new ones, and they do a lot of damage.
Is that the best y'all can do? That was fun.
I don't care, mate. You don't want to fight, then I'll just ignore you. No, that's that guy who's being a freaking tsundere about fighting us. Can't make up his goddamn mind.
You ain't gonna like this. Ain't good.
That was fun.
You're
I don't know why it's taking like every brain cell I have right now to just like play the game. Oh yeah, I should see if I can take a power of those guys. I'm so over caring at this point. It's Act 3 and I've stolen like 2 powers. And they've done nothing.
That was
Help me.
I'm pretty good, aren't I?
What are you doing here?
Like, I'm fairly sure when you steal a power, like when you use it on a mutant, it does give you a damage multiplier. Oh my god. Like, I'm fairly certain it gives you extra damage on your other attacks, but it's just like... I don't know. It's too many skill points
You're out.
for something that...
Oh, you ain't going nowhere.
You know, it legitimately just does nothing most of the time. And it's another one of those things where it's like... If the enemy is dangerous, the last thing you want to do is like walk up toe to toe with them and, you know,
Pleasant dreams, y'all.
do a little like love tap that's not going to kill them and that has an extremely slow animation. Yeah, I can't remember how to unlock that. I'm not sure if Rogue even can. Yeah, we definitely can't unlock that. Off we go.
I found him.
Maybe we can just, yeah. Get out of here. I wonder how the fall damage is calculated, because it's doing so much more damage than they have hit points. Is that just like the damage cap for the game? It just hits them for damage cap kind of thing? And we gotta wade in here and
Get him.
get this jerk. Otherwise she'll just res anyone we do kill.
This is some real power. Woo! That was fun.
But yeah, I feel like I would be having a blast with this character if she was faster. And it's not even like double this with like I've played Rogue with Toad in the team, and Toad has an ability that speeds everyone up. It's one of the best abilities of the game, by the way. And Rogue feels pretty goated when you have that on a. I mean, obviously, it increases her melee damage as well, so it's a perfect ability for Rogue.
You ain't gonna like this.
Alright, let's take this guy's aura. Actually, steal his aura. Alright, with the aura, we kind of wreck.
Aspirin, huh?
The stolen aura? Look at this. Look at us go. The stolen aura, and with them taking rebound damage, and you know, like you kind of eventually do get a bit of a stew going with this. But like we're spamming our level 1 ability. I'm not even using this. I mean, I guess I should use it, and there's more than one enemy around, but it's just if there's more than one enemy around, like because I'm so slow, my instinct is to kite them and try to kill them 1v1. And then I'm so like my muscle memory is that's so like ingrained in just the way I'm like trying to play the game
Sugar.
that when I just completely forget that like, oh okay, I'm invincible, I'll just stand in front of them and use this. But also they just run away and it's so slow and the range is so short It's honestly, it's easier to catch them with the melee ability because at least the melee ability lunges forward.
Time, sugar.
I don't know. It just has like really bad like usability. But so there is an optional side area called the Prison of Misery, and I don't know that I can do it. I don't like. There's also a side area here, the perimeter platforms. The Prison of Misery, I know I can do it. It's just, oh my god, I'm gonna die of like boredom.
What can I get you? I guarantee all of it, 100%.
We'll probably have something better by the time we can use that, but still, might as well hold on to it. And what do we got? Stats. Not hard. Skill points. We just need to max this. Nothing else matters as much. This is like, without this, we are literally dead, and we have nothing. We don't have damage, we don't have speed. And we have just no way to live stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of tradition for me not to skip the Prison of Misery because there's a boss there. But like, you know what? I'll go here and I'll go to the first waypoint here. And then I'll think about it. I really don't want to do it. I'm like putting it off and trying not to think about it because it's depressing to think about. Like, I'm happy to get through the game. I know I can. I know if I make the right decisions, if I press my buttons, if I do any farming that needs to be done, blah blah blah, I'm not going to lose the game now as Rogue because I have invincibility. But I want to play it as little as possible. It's so slow. I hate this build.
I guess y'all lose.
Like, I'm just spamming this stupid slow punch. And everything takes so long to die. And it doesn't even hit consistently, which is the worst part. And it, like, if I miss with an ability with most characters in this game, I don't even notice because I just immediately spam it a second time and hit. You know, I have to get, like, a chain of terrible luck with the auto aim. Why can I not hit this? Like, bro, do something right, please. Thank you. Anyway. So yeah, I know I can win this, and I'm honestly at a point where I'm like, it's not going to matter how much I grind for this character. It's not going to matter. She's never going to feel good to play, and that's kind of what I grind for, is like, when I'm on a weaker character, is like, I'm grinding in the hope that I can get them like strong enough to feel alright, and it's not going to happen. Like, this is never going to feel okay. The only way this character is going to feel okay is if I grind credits, buy a redistribute, and you know, put a different build on it, which I can't do because I feel like next run I've just got to do like, Like, I know I said I would do the Scarlet Witch challenge run because she's the worst character in the game, like, bar nothing. She's as slow as Rogue. She has some range advantage, which is good, but she doesn't have invincibility.
Y'all lose.
So, she also, like, doesn't have, you know, like a god tier screen clearing ult or like a massive CC ult like Rogue has.
I'm pretty good.
So, you know, she just gets destroyed. And I don't even think she'll make it out of the Act 1 tunnels, where we almost died in Act 1 tunnels as Rogue. Like, I think we're just going to run out of energy and, like, run out of energy pots, and then we're going to have to, like, go in and try to melee bugs when we do, like, 7 melee damage, and then we're just going to die to the bugs. Like, we're going to run out of health potions, and we're going to die to the bugs. That's my prediction.
Tell me that next time, sugar.
But, who knows? I'll try. What I'm afraid of is that I don't die and then I have to play the rest of the game as her. Because I almost certainly will die at some point. But as I said, I want to do that challenge run just to kind of demonstrate that she's the worst character in the game. But I'm also so tired of like just feeling like a freaking noodle, like just a piece of crap in this game. Like, the Toad one was fun, but I knew very well that at any moment he could just die. But the Spit build, just because of the way the Spit worked and the fact that it can like mess up your own movement, and it kind of CCs, but it's not a really consistent and reliable CC where you can just kind of like look at something that is, you know, that has the potential to kill you and just immediately take that away. Like, just say, no, you're just going to stand there. Okay, sorry. The Spit is more about like area denial, and that just use, like, there's places in the game where that's not going to be particularly useful, and like a lot of the ambushes and stuff, and that's just exactly where we got wrecked. We just, like, a really dangerous boss mob with a really dangerous aura just popped out in like an ambush right on top of us. I had laid a bunch of Spit on the ground because I knew they were coming, but I hadn't laid enough. It wasn't the right, you know, it wasn't in the right locations, and they just kind of ran off the Spit and like ran me down in the corner, and I died. And, you know, it's fine. I knew that could happen. That's not something I'm particularly worried about with Rogue. As I say, as long as I'm patient enough, I should be able to win the game with her at this point. Even if I am reduced to just spamming this, you know, I don't know why. So like I said, I should be using energy overflow, but like my brain is just melting playing this horrible build that like I don't even sort of care to try to optimize, because like it's not like, how much difference is it gonna make? Like, slow is slow. If I can make it a tiny bit less slow by using like 10 brain cells instead of like 1. I don't know, man. I'd rather just give those 9 brain cells a holiday. Anyway. So yeah, I kind of want to play someone who's actually good, and Magneto is a pretty good candidate. But then, so is Sunfire and Pyro. But I could also do an off-meta, you know, a non-optimized build on Sunfire or Pyro, which, to be honest, they're still S tier.
Y'all lose.
Or I could do Nightcrawler. The problem is, like, Nightcrawler doesn't even struggle in the early game, so there's very little I can do to try to entertain you with Nightcrawler. Like, he absolutely... The early game, which even the strongest characters in the game can struggle with, just because of the way it is. Because, you know, because they haven't necessarily unlocked good abilities yet. It doesn't, like, Nightcrawler has a level 1 ability that just, like, it's not like a screen clearer, but it's like a mob clearer. You can clear an entire mob with one button press. And it doesn't cost any more energy than, like, this. So it's like the energy that Rogue spends to like kill one, maybe one enemy, assuming it doesn't whiff off into like the air, which it loves to do. You used to kill like 4 or 5. And your ability is safer because it doesn't whiff, because it can pretty consistently be relied upon to just kill everything, so you don't need to think like, oh, okay, but then how am I going to get out, because they're not going, they're going to be alive and they're going to like lay all this damage in on me while I'm, toe-to-toe with them and haven't killed them. So it's much, much, much easier to use. Kurt also has the single best. I mean, his ultimate, it's not necessarily a screen clearer, but it will kill. It will absolutely guarantee kill like 20 or 30 enemies on your screen when it's maxed. I can't remember exactly how many enemies it hit, but if it hits someone, it will kill them, and it can hit a lot of enemies. But the thing is like the fewer enemies, the more it hits the fewer enemies. So it's an amazing destroyer of like elites and especially bosses. When there's just one boss standing there and you use Kurt's ult on a good build with Kurt, like it just their health bar just disappears. You can one-shot them if you have really good gear and a fully like optimized build with the ult, but more likely you're going to use it twice and not be dead. But I mean like literally act bosses where you just like press ult and then they're gone. Or it's usually like ult and then they're in their second phase or whatever, and then you ult on them again and then they're gone. Like the damage is so outrageous. His other ult essentially gives him invincibility, invisibility, which is not as good as invincibility, but it's still very good. And yeah, even without his ultimate, he does a lot of damage. Like Teleport Frenzy just does a lot of damage. Pardon me, just taking a sip of water there.
Just when it was getting fun.
Oh, leave me alone. How about that? Thank you. I don't need that, but I don't like to get bullied by the traps. Alright.
Primary power so.
There's no reason to go down there. Let's just fly our butt out of here. Honestly, this area is not being too much trouble. Like I said, it's just a clear speed. I'm going to lose sanity points doing this. So many sanity points. And this is why I want to do a kind of like, restore my sanity points run with someone who's actually good. Maybe Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler can lose. Pyro and Sunfire shouldn't lose. Magneto shouldn't lose. Though Magneto can lose in the early game. He can struggle. And the funny thing is, my melee build on Jean struggled in the fight that's coming up, the boss fight that's coming up. These guys do a lot of damage, by the way, and they are super tanky, and they are energy resistant. All my favorite things. Bless you for killing yourselves. Bless you. Oh, Rogue would be so absolutely miserably far up the Brown River Sans Fatal if she did not have this ability. She would be absolutely cooked. There's nothing that could freaking save her. It takes so long. These guys are mental resistant and energy resistant. They're so ugly. I hate them so much. But there was a lot of EXP. At least I can just bully this guy on the ground. Nothing in here. Happy little extreme tokens. I will gladly take those.
Advance and attack.
Alright. Look how much damage they did. On your bike.
I'm pretty good, aren't I?
Go, go, go!
That was fun.
Oh, I can't even pick that guy up. So I can't even ledge them to one-shot them. We just gotta do it the slow way, the old-fashioned
I
way.
need an aspirin, hun.
Me your aura, you scrub. Wow, he actually hit hard with the damage aura.
You again.
It's a shame we can't keep it for a while.
Time to rock!
Y'all quit just when it was getting fun.
I don't. I'm like running out of stuff to say about this because it's just like, okay, we just walk into a room, we try to separate the enemies, and we just punch them to death one at a time.
Surround them!
Is that the best y'all can do?
Yeah, see, like stunning has anti-synergy with reflective aura because it's just cutting down the damage that it adds. Oh, this is so many of these guys. Starting to yawn.
I'm pretty good, aren't I?
I skipped 2 huge chunks of this act, and it's still going so slowly.
Surround them!
Yeah, if that guy wants to run away, he can run away. I'm okay with it. The less time I have to spend just throwing this terrible punch.
See what you got.
The more sane I will be when this is over. And I'm already going to be less sane than I was when it started. At least this is the second last act and we're almost at the boss. I just have to spend like a year killing this guy. Here we go. We got him in a corner. He's like, oh, don't put mutated Prometheus mod 2 in a corner. And we're just like, of course we will. You are ours to toy with. I would much rather just kill them than toy with them, though. Don't want to toy with them. I don't want to be here for this long. I could never be a good, like, torturer or sadist or, like, evil person, because I would just get bored tormenting people. All they would need to do is just, like I could definitely torment people, like, if it would depend on the way they reacted. If they made it, like, funny or amusing for me, then 100%. But they're not going to.
I just keep getting better.
You know, the only way I could make it, like, funny would be to kind of be more of, like, a troll than a torment. Because, you know, like, if you're genuinely, like, upsetting and traumatizing someone, it's going to come through in the way they respond. And you're not going to have a good time. Like, you're going to feel terrible. Because, like, empathy and stuff. But if you were just kind of fucking with them and not really hurting them, it could be funny. But then again, like I say, then you're not really tormenting them, so what's the point? Once again, he's our helpless captive. He's ours to toy with.
Is that the best y'all can do?
And he will never escape. Like, this is how you die to the enemy sometimes. Like chain CC'd until you just run out of health pots. That's how that's how gross it is, and that feels terrible when that happens. It genuinely makes me want to, like, stop playing the game forever. But this is what we're doing to the enemy because we just don't have enough damage. They must feel so bad. They're like, oh god, this, like, scrub rogue build. you know, I'm just being smashed to death by this level 1 skill. It just beats me down. Did I not get the waypoint in the Pantheon? I didn't. You know what? I don't care. I'm not going back. It's not like I don't need
What can
anything
I
there.
get you?
I'm at peace.
Any questions?
Terrible. Incredible. See, think of that. If you have one that actually gets +3 to a good skill, you need to be so high level to use it. Those character specific rares are always bunk. This is not bad for the 10 all res. I don't think it's going to be worth using, but you know. We can hold on to it for now. And I believe we should have yeah, some of these and some of those. And some of these. And let's continue on. So close. It was so close.
Hello, my friend. For that the beast ignore.
Lock and load, Trellis. You won't get away so easy.
What's easy about this, lady?
You need an aspirin, hon. Woo! That was fun. Take them down.
Oh, can you please stop running away from me? I just want to go on. Something else with my time. Alright. We got this. We got this. Nothing can stop us. Extreme token here with any luck, so I don't have to go farm another. I'm not going and farming another. If I can't win this with 4, that's fine. It means I don't have to play Act 5. I can't win this with 4. There's so many to farm here, it doesn't even matter. Pipe down, grubber. Alright, let's make sure we're not standing on the outside of him so we don't get ledged. Now he's gonna hide in there. Get away from that teleporter!
What do you think you're
And yes, I'm using Torpedo Strike to break these, because I'm not gonna stand here and punch them like this 7 times in a row.
What do you think you're doing? Keep back from that teleporter. Have you gone insane? Now the teleporter.
I have absolutely gone insane. Now you stop talking.
Where are you? Don't let the teleporter beam reach me. Let's rock.
Damn it. It's fine.
Infinite, where are you?
Where are you? Oh, the hit stun. I hate this.
beam away from me.
Alright, we got the first thing. We don't want to go too high because the odds of getting whomped are significant. Alright, we got this. We got this. If the camera doesn't kill us.
I command you, keep the teleporter beam away from me.
Alright. Look at that. We'll even farm a little bit of gear while we're here.
One's just fallen.
The freaking hit stun, man. I hate it.
Infinite,
No.
I command you, keep the teleporter beam away from me.
Oh my god. She's so slow. I hate her so much. Like, I can't, like... like, I'll get it eventually, but like I said, it's just... Like, remember this, please. If you're watching this, like, if you ever see someone tell me this character is good, show them this video. Show them that I literally lose 70 points trying to play this character. But you know how fun it is? Like, you know, this fight is already over if I'm playing a good character. I'm playing Iron Man. This fight was over like 30 seconds. Like, not even 30 seconds. He literally just one-shots Archangel. You know, you fly direct. Like, I can't get to that. I'm so slow. Like, I have literally nothing. This is all I have, and I can't even use it. It's the only good thing in my kit, and I've like turned it off for myself. Because it's like, but life does not get better for you with that ability. I swear to God, it doesn't. Like, there is no, like, life just does not get better for you when you play Rogue. That's it. You're just slow. You're just bad. Like, you have no business being as slow as you are when you're doing so little damage. Even with Torpedo Strike, it just doesn't do good damage. I hate to say it, it just doesn't. Not compared to anything in the game that is actually good. I don't mean like that's viable, because everything is viable, but like, whatever. I mean, like, we're just wandering around at this point.
I guess y'all lose.
You ain't going nowhere.
Like, do you know how smooth, like, what is even going on? Can I not, like, get the boss be completely fucking bugged when I'm already playing, like, the second worst character in the game, but the worst build? Like, this is genuinely gonna make me mold. Can he fucking land so I can hit him?
No! I have failed my master.
Yeah, go on. Not too.
I promise you, it doesn't go like that with any other character. It just doesn't. Like, Colossus has an ability that allows you to, like, run at super speed and to smash everything that physically gets in your way and knock over any enemy. So, do you think he does okay here or not? Like, Toad has the ability to increase his movement speed. Characters who are strong and that can fly can actually benefit from the fly, because, like, Magneto is basically immune to projectiles at this point and can fly. So you can literally just fly over there. Sunfire is actually invincible and can fly and can just fly over there. Like, you know, you can see how bad this character. I hope you can see how bad this character is. We're gonna break all these boxes. You know what? We're not. I don't care. It doesn't matter. All I care about at this point is extreme tokens. As long as I can make myself invincible, I can win the game. Nothing else matters. The gear is not going to change anything. I'm going to spend an hour killing the bosses, no matter how good the gear I get is. Like the damage increases I'm going to get are so incremental. It's barely even worth leveling up at this point. It's just like, okay, I mean, eventually I'll get to the point where I can carry 5 of these. That's the only realistic power spike that I have in store for me. That's it.
Hello, my friend.
Do you know how long it's going to take us to kill the living monolith? Like, it's going to take so long. It's like, I don't even know. I don't even know if we're going to be able to. We'll probably run out of EP potions.
You won't find better prices.
Okay, I was just saying, like, we're not going to get better gear, but we actually just did get a piece of gear that's, like, genuinely... But at the same time, it's like as if the game knows and is fucking with me. Because, like, this is my best gear piece, and I just got, like, an upgrade, but not, like, a godlike upgrade. But if I had gotten this exact item on any other gear slot, then it would have been an absolutely godlike upgrade. But it's still an upgrade, it's still something. I shouldn't complain about it. And it's one of those rare upgrades that you can actually, like, throw on right away, which is pretty freaking cool. I can't complain. It's not going to change our breakpoints. It's not going to change anything. But it is what it is. And here we are. We're in Act 5. I'm going to continue this tomorrow. I've suffered enough for today. There's no point going back and doing the perimeter platforms. There's no point going back and doing Prison of Misery. I did get the qualifying exam, so I can go fight Strife. In the qualifying exam right now. Actually, no, it'll be Bastion, I think. And, like, yeah, the graduation. So let's go do that. And this is going to take a long time. It's going to be very difficult to actually, like,
Rogue.
kill this guy in a timely manner. He summons a bunch of sentinels. Thank God we can make ourselves invincible.
Goodbye.
You know, the good characters bank on just killing this guy before he can summon sentinels. Because once he starts summoning them, A, you can get ledged by that ability. B, as you can see, it actually does cut right through your invincibility. It's good to see his auto-targeting as bad as ours, and sometimes he would flick 180 and shoot a wall.
Congratulations.
That warms my heart, you know? I can't even complain about that. Anyway, let's get in here. Let's use our skill point. This is gonna be big gains. Big gains. It's like 6 more damage. That's so bad, the scaling. Oh, it's terrible. But I chose this. I can't complain too much. As I say, the only reason I complain is not like, oh no, why do I have to do this? It's more like, you know, there are people out there who say this character is good. Or if she's good, why is this so slow? Why am I suffering so much? And it's like, yes, I know I could be using torpedo strike, but I promise you, it's not that much better. It's a little bit better. Like this character right here, again, she's not the worst. Even with this build, she's not the worst. With this build, she's the second worst character in the game. Without this build, she's maybe like the, I don't know. It depends on how much you value not being able to die. Because I would rather play through the game with like Sabretooth or Wolverine, who I consider to be fairly low tier. They have a lot of rogues problems in that they have like really bad energy economy. Their ults are not particularly amazing. But it's like they're fast and they do tremendous damage. And I would rather have a character who, you know, needs to actively play the game to win, but can clear things quickly and do it efficiently, than to play a character who just kind of like walks into every fight knowing they're going to be beaten to crap, but just like Uno reverses it and doesn't die. And you're just like this big lump that like can't really do anything yourself, but you can kind of just exist while enemies kill themselves on you. It's like it's a hideous way to play. But now we're here. We can jump in there anytime and just get full extreme tokens. So there's no losing the game now. Apart from, as I say, the living monolith might just out-resource us. Apocalypse could maybe just out-resource us because you have to kill like kind of boss rush to deal with him. But in both of their areas, there's a little bit of farming you can do. So we'll have to see. I'm not going to find out by standing here and yapping about it. But we're going to end this, and I'm going to take off and continue tomorrow. And hopefully get this one done. Start looking and thinking about the next one. So until then, take care. Thanks to anyone who tuned in, and I shall see you tomorrow.